going to say, what the hell is going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to After Dark. Yes, it is indeed live. No, it's not a pre-recorded chat. This is a live show where we interact and we hang out, and we generally don't come into this with any kind of agenda or topic or schedule of things to look at. But we kind of just let the conversation flow, and it's a good chance to interact, talk to you guys, see what's been going on. And honestly, this has become it's kind of like my favorite in a way. I really surprisingly just enjoy turning the stream on and hanging out with you guys. Not surprising that it's you guys, obviously, but just surprising that we're able to do this, and it usually ends up being a really fun show. Amateur hour. What was I had something loaded to tell you guys, and it's escaped me already. Fantastic. Great start to the show. Look, with this show, though, I do like to, like I said, interact. So this is your chance, if there's things on your mind, to get at me, and we can talk about it. What I am curious about, actually, that's what I was going to ask you guys, is your thoughts on the video that I put up yesterday, which was this weird cloud-looking UFO, I guess. I mean, it looks like a UFO because it's moving, but it also does look like a cloud. And it's ironic because on this channel, many times before, I have I've poked fun at the fact that, like, if you go into boomer Facebook groups about like paranormal and UFOs, you've always got people on there posting pictures of clouds going like, look at this UFO, you know, like old man yells at cloud. And here I am uploading pictures of what look like to be clouds. But I swear there's actually something in that. And I don't think I'm the only one. Probably some kind of unannounced rocket's my best guess. Yeah, that is something I thought about with the whole, Artemis mission that's going on. But I mean, as far as I'm aware, Artemis is it's nowhere near us right now. And the whole Artemis thing is weird, man. You know, I watched Jordan Crowder's latest video yesterday, and he did a big thing about like, why can't we see the stars in the photos? And I really think that's a big question. And he did a great deep dive because he's got a photography company, so he understands like cameras, aperture, exposure, lenses, things like that. And he was making a really good argument as to like why we can't see any stars at all, like nothing. And I don't know. I just think, like there's always answers, right? Someone's always got an answer. And I just wonder, when you've got someone there like that who understands photography, making like a reasonable point. And also, sorry to sidetrack, but the astronauts would all have their iPhones with them or whatever camera they use. Why are we not getting like Instagram type photos from the astronauts? You know what I mean? I feel like if this were real and there was nothing to hide, surely like their Instagrams would have kind of gone viral because they'd be posting stuff. Because it's not like it's work 24/7. Like you always see photos of them just literally hanging around, messing around. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm making a lot of bold assumptions here. I'm the furthest thing from a fucking astronaut, obviously. But, these are the kind of questions that float around. And I think a lot of you guys probably think some of the same things about that. Bleak, my man, thank you for the membership, brother. Gifted membership, by the way. Whoever received that one, make sure you say thank you to Bleak. Use your manners. I hope the leveling is going well, bro. I need to join you. Haven't been able to play many video games lately. I've been busy, which is sad, but we'll get back there. We'll get back to Azeroth soon. They are government employees. I'm sure they had to sign a contract about taking no personal photos. Maybe, yeah, maybe, but also why? Like, why? Why can't I take personal photos? This is apparently the best achievement of mankind. Surely you want it documented, right? Surely a couple of little... I mean, if you're taking pictures from a professional camera through a window, why can't I just do one with my phone as well? I don't know. Light sources is weird in space. We are used to being on a planet with lots of ambient light. Yeah, I know, but I guess we're also taking that at face value as well, Arcades. Like I agree we're talking about like a dimension and a realm that none of us have ever been in. So I feel like we're kind of just being told that light acts this way in this space, and we are kind of just like have to believe that. It could be true, but I do think that we have cameras and lenses that are capable of capturing like multiple light sources. Like, yes, the sun is bright. I do understand that, and we are in space. But I also don't know if but it's still like they're still taking photos in the shadow from the shadow side of the earth, and that's when you get that nice that nice shadow line across the earth in some of their photos. So you would still think that given how many stars there are, and I'm pulling a little bit from Jordan's argument here, but it's true. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have been to Outback Australia or Outback wherever you're from, where there's no light pollution. There are so many stars, it's actually insane. So the fact that they're literally right up there and they can't see any, it's just weird, man. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense to me. But I'm not an astronaut, so maybe that's why. Yvonne, thank you very much for gifting a membership. If you receive that, make sure you say thank you to Yvonne. Use your manners, please. We use our manners at the Polarity compound. There will be punishment for those being rude and not using their manners at the compound. What way does the moon shadow turn again? I'm not sure, bro. Don't ask me about the moon. God, I don't even know how the thing moves. Only a few minutes late. What up, weirdos? Hope you all have an excellent Friday. Yes, happy Friday, people. I feel like I've gotten lost in the days of the weeks, and I kind of just forget what day it is, but it is Friday. Amazing stuff. We love that. Generally I'm pretty good with the days, but as you guys know, just got to Thailand, been settling in, and it's really good so far. Really liking it here. And the thing is, I really like it, and I don't even want to leave where I live. Like, I'm in this little not a compartment. It's a condo, I guess. It's like a condo apartment. And it just has everything I need. And I just like that. Josh, do you take those purple lights with you to every location? I do. Yeah, I do, Ellen. Because I knew when I was taking Polarity on the road, I think a lot of people were like, oh, you're bailing on Polarity. And it was like, no, like I'm actually going to a lot of extra effort to try and keep this show running, and also feeling the same way. Like, lighting, it creates like a vibe and a certain feel. And that was important to me to bring along with me. So yes, I do bring them with me everywhere I go. Is there any way you can get your meds? I think so. I might be able to get something while I'm here. I'm hoping so. Josh, it's kind of the same as when you stare directly at the sun and try and see your phone screen, the stars. Your eyes have far better dynamic range than cameras, and still can't handle it. I think I butchered that, bro. I think I butchered what you meant there. I do apologize. Tell me in Discord, and I'll test it out. By the way, nice 6 months. I don't know if I remember your 6-month chat, Roy, but thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Where's Vietnam, Vinny? He's in Vietnam, bro. He's in Vietnam. If you're looking for Josh, he is here somewhere, but you're stuck with me, which is Bangkok Ben. This is Bangkok Ben. And this is who you have for the next month or so. Bangkok Benny. One night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster. This has been stuck in my head since you got there. Yeah, a lot of Bangkok jokes. Yep. A lot of ladyboys too. Yep. What about Jash? Dude, this is the thing. You never know what version you're going to get. A lot of variables. Josh, did we verify the tattoo situation? Oh, you're talking about Palm Beach Pete? Yeah, okay. So Peter sent me this thing earlier about Palm Beach Pete allegedly having like a tribal tattoo on his kind of around like the bicep area, just like a band. And then they were comparing pictures of Epstein, showing like Epstein with the tattoo. But straight away, I was just like, nah, this is tattoos are way too goy slop for Epstein. Like you got to admit, like tattoos is pretty like peak goy slop, right? This is pure, like pretty much just like Western white trash, right? And I'm literally covered in them, right? So I'm not like shitting on anyone, but like the whole concept of like a tattoo is just very like goy sloppy, right? I'm sure you guys agree with that. So the idea of Epstein having like a tribal tattoo band, I would be extremely surprised. Epstein had a band tattoo. Let's see it. Let's see the legitimate photos. Because the photos that they were comparing it with, they looked the tattoo looked either extremely fresh or like AI putting it on. It was like very contrasty, very like the deep black, you know what I mean? Like tattoos when they're super, super fresh. So it just didn't look right to me. Goy marking. Exactly. We're literally branding ourselves with goy barcodes. This is a goy barcode, okay? Palm Beach Pete is Epstein. So I was thinking of covering this maybe on like a weird week or something, but he went back on that podcast, like that Fat Nicky, whatever it's called, that rapper Fat Nicky that we looked at. He went back on his podcast and did a lie detector test. So maybe we'll look at a couple of clips from that on Weird Week on Sunday. How many white tees do you have, bro? I have 3 with me, and I'm about to throw all 3 of them away because I've had the same 3 with me since I left Australia, and they're just getting a little bit not so nice. And I'm staying right next door to Uniqlo. So good. So I'm going to get myself 3 freshies. I wonder if you guys will be able to tell when I'm wearing a freshie. The freshies always just hit so different. I love these t-shirts. I might get a couple of other colors too. I got to stop wearing this same white t-shirt. This is the thing, like when I do this show, again, I think we spoke about this. When I do this show, like I don't accidentally wear the white shirt every time. Like the hat, the white shirt, the purple lighting, like it's part of the show. Do you know what I mean? So like it's kind of like I don't want to stop doing it because it's like part of the branding. But then there is also a part of me that is like, you do wear the white t-shirts too much. Forest green, perhaps. Yeah, that's my other favorite color, forest green. Yeah, they don't do Uniqlo tops in that color, unfortunately. If they did, I would already be wearing them. I need a Uniqlo sponsorship. That's what I need. Forest green hits well. Yep, you guys can actually get yourself a Polarity shirt from the merch store right here. Nope, not there. Let's see if we can find it. Come on. Actually, I don't even know if it's in this reel. It's probably not. Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. Anyway, it kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like that. And it's forest green. And you can go and touch grass in a forest green shirt and just completely embody nature. Reconnect with yourself and nature. Maybe we can ask for the plum back though. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the plum. I wanted to have a purple option because obviously, but I don't know what happened with that. Something went wrong with the plum, and it just never really. I don't know. I don't know. The whole shop stuff is difficult. It's not really, but it is on top of everything else. I'm not gonna lie. Polarity Uniqlo collab merch when? Yeah, Uniqlo do a lot of collabs. Probably not with random YouTubers, but they do collabs. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. I would love if I could just source these tops and print on them. That would be the coolest. Didn't you say something about wearing a black shirt being a single and you had a black shirt on the other week? I have no idea what you mean, S-Tone. Being a singlet? Do you mean singlet? I'm not sure what you mean by being a single. You're not random? I mean, I am in the grand scheme of things. I wouldn't say my channel is small. I would say it's like small, medium. But like there are channels out there with like 20 million. Do you know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, I am a small channel. I appreciate what you're saying though, bro. Do you have matching socks? I should do. Yeah, I do. I do. Socks is the one thing that I brought more than enough of with me. Went a little light on the underwear. Okay, we've had to double up the underwear a couple of times. Yep. Long days editing in the chair, same underwear. All the details that you guys want to know, this is where you get them after dark. Old Soul Joe gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Old Soul Joe. And he threw in a little super chat sticker as well. Thank you very much, bro. Wait, he's done another one. He's done another one. Old Soul Joe. He's just handing out gifts tonight. Thank you very much, bro. That's very generous of you. You said the E word? Yeah. Hey, speaking of the E word and editing, I finished editing the Chris Ramsey interview today. And as a special little treat for you little freaks, being so punctual and loyal, being here on a live stream where we have literally no plans to talk about anything, as a little treat for you guys, I will show you the trailer at the end. And I think it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. So if Black Shirt is evil, Josh, we are seeing the mirror universe in Star Trek right now. Is that what I said? Is that what I said? That when I wear black, I'm evil? Like an anime character? I wouldn't say the shirts dictate my mood, but I definitely, I'm half Italian. I can get a little fired up sometimes, we can get a little feisty for sure. The thing is though, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. Okay. I'm aware of it. And I have good people around me to consult in and stop me from making rash decisions. Canadian Chris. Yep. That's the guy. Canadian Chris and Bangkok Ben. That's the new Hangover movie. That's the next Hangover sequel. Canada Chris and Bangkok Benny have a night out in Bangkok. I'm half Italian too. Shout out to you. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. A little bit of fire. We get a little bit heated sometimes. It's okay. Stevie says, crazy it's been 9 months, bro. Cheers to many more months of sending-based memes. My man, thank you very much, brother. Thank you for the 9 months. As long as you don't wear a red shirt, because you know what that means. Yeah, the problem is I don't own a red shirt. So if I was ever truly in trouble and I was like worried, I'd probably just do something really weird. Like, just like turn on the live stream, but like I'm not there or something. Just something that would make people be like, I think something is wrong. You know what I mean? Just I'd make it pretty clear. Something is not right. Scroll down on the chat on the stream. Oh, so it did this the other day in the stream. I don't know why it does that. Let me see if this fixes it. Wait, how did I fix it? How long has it been stuck? God damn it. How did I fix that? Cap on backwards. I do wear it backwards every now and then. So I don't know if that would work. What the hell? It's been stuck the whole stream. Fantastic. Love that. Pull a James and live stream on your phone, then we know something's up. Yeah, that would be a good way to do it. Speaking of that, I want to figure out a way to live stream from Contact in the Desert. So I want to, like, obviously not in the event. I don't think I'll be allowed to. But I want to just live stream from the actual venue. I feel like that would be cool. Sorry, I'm trying to get this chat working again. And I did it the other day. I can't remember how. Stupid technology. Yeah. I mean, maybe you guys just need to use the chat that's next to you. You're here live, so you're lucky you get the actual live chat. You can live stream from your phone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think that would be really cool to do at Contact. But I'll have to figure it all out. Is there not the blue button and arrow showing for you, Josh? No, because I'm not like streaming my direct window. I'm streaming the browser source, which most people are probably like, I don't know what a browser source is. But that's what I'm doing. I'm streaming a browser source. Oh, hang on. Wait, this is how I did it, I think. Yes. Yes. There we go. See? Never give up. Never, ever give up. And you will find a way. Turn it off and on. Ironically, the way to fix it is kind of similar to that, but not quite. But we got there in the end. We're back, people. Afternoon from Scotland. Shout out to Scotland. It's all about persistence. That's right. That is right. Josh is AI confirmed. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. I will neither confirm nor deny that statement. Live stream Mark and Sammy's wedding. The first Polarity wedding. That would be a sight. Fix and then add. Man, I'm sorry, but like, if you are still not using YouTube Premium, my brother or sister in Christ, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? Seriously. Cancel your Goyslop Netflix subscriptions, Stan, all of that shit, and just literally get a $8 YouTube Premium. Seriously. It's like $8 Australian. I mean, look, it depends. If you only come on YouTube to watch me, maybe don't. But like, if you watch YouTube most days, like I do, you will never look back. Do you know how good it is just to be like, oh, that looks cool. Press the button and start watching it immediately. Immediately. Every single time. Every single time, immediately. You don't realize how good that is until you feel it. You got to feel that. And then you will never look back. That's what the saying is, right? Once you go premium, you never go back. That's what the saying is. And it's true. It's true. I think there's different tiers to it. I think like the $20 one is like full, no ads anywhere. And I think maybe the $8 one is like you still get ads in music or something like that. Never reward the juice YouTube owners. Yeah. Yeah. It's always in the back of the mind, isn't it? It's kind of like, one day I would love to own a house, but then I'm paying a mortgage. You can't win. You can't win. This is the world we live in, people. This is the world that we live in. I had all streaming services and canned them all, but Netflix and YouTube. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good shout. I basically have the same setup, to be honest. Just YouTube and one other streaming service. You either play or you die. That's right, sir. We literally live in like Game of Thrones. We live in like a sanitized version of Game of Thrones where people pretend that we're not actually living in Game of Thrones because there's like all of these like charades and kayfabe to be like, oh, it's all happy. It's like, no, we literally live in Game of Thrones. And there are Targaryens that are deeply connected to like a draconian bloodline that are basically trying to take over the world. Okay, this is Game of Thrones, people. I'm JK, but I'm not. No, it's okay. You don't have to say you're JK. We know. We know. This is a safe place. You can be unhinged here. It's okay. Toxic Fart says, what is Bangkok Ben's last name? Is it Dover? It is Bangkok Bendover. Exactly right, Toxic Fart. Thank you very much, sir. Lovely to see you. Kelly Hall gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Kelly. I appreciate you. And whoever received those, use your manners. Say thank you to Kelly. Sammy Wright with 8 months says, I'm going to see my Polarity weirdo. We'll send a wedding invite soon. Love to all the weirdo fam and hope you're good, boss. 8 months. Woo. Sammy, how exciting for you, for both of you. That's honestly incredible. I can't wait to see. Thank you very much for the 8 months. And Kelly says, you should have a panel with Serp and Rambro at Contact. That would be sick. It's funny you mentioned that, Kelly. So I'll float this idea to you guys. I mentioned it earlier, I think today in the Discord. But I'm thinking about starting a new show. I was thinking of maybe turning it After Dark into this, or like the second hour of After Dark into this. But I think maybe I like this too much. I think I just want to make it its own show. But I want to kind of do like a Art Bell style call-in show, right? We do it through Discord, where it's basically like like an open call, and people can come in and tell their story, share their experience, things they've seen, worked in, whatever, right? Whatever it is that's like paranormal or spooky or something like that. I think that would be really fun. There are obviously risks that come with it. You know, you're inviting someone who you have no idea who they are, what their intentions or what their motives are onto a live show that I cannot edit. Okay, so there are risks involved. I generally think it would be okay, but it is something to think about. And I think to actually do it properly, I would probably need someone to like vet people, not in like a really stringent way, but just like maybe before I pulled them into a voice call live, maybe if someone else was like, I don't know, just heard what they had to say and just a quick little judge of character first. I don't know. I need to hash it out a little bit more, but I think it would be really fun because there are a lot of, and you know, it would be fun to hear people's stories, but also fun because like, you know, there's going to probably be some interesting people that come in, and you know, you got to deal with that, and I think that could be fun as well. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. We'll see what happens though. The chat has froze again. God damn it, chat. There we go. I've worked out how to fix it quickly now. I have a story I'd love to share. Yeah, well, that will be your time. So I think, you know, if we do this, and you know, you guys seem like you're pretty keen to hear it and see it. I think the first time we do it, we would do like, I don't know. I'd probably pre-organize people for like the first couple of shows. I don't know. I don't want it to feel scripted though, because it's not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Could be a lot of fun though. We could just be like the new late night call-in. You know, what if I just ran the stream at all hours? What if I just turned the stream on for like 8 hours straight, just taking calls? We could literally be the new Art Bell. David Brett says, I'm getting pissed off. What are you getting pissed off about, David Brett 77? What's wrong, my friend? DTP says, a show where he just reads chat without responding sounds like peak entertainment. Well, that's what this is. But when you realize that there are hundreds of people, you begin to understand that you can't read all of them. In fact, if I was, it would just be like me reading a schizophrenic monologue and not being able to give you any input of my own, which I don't think would make for good viewing either. So it's a bit of a problem you can see arising there. I miss the Art Bell insanity. You never knew what you'd hear. Yeah, I think that's part of the excitement of it, right? Is you don't know what you're going to get. And like, that could kind of put me in an awkward position too, But I actually think that's what I like about live streaming is the fact that like you do have to kind of think on the spot, and it can be a bit awkward sometimes. Was JK, brother? Bro, so am I. Come on. This is what we're doing here. We're going back and forth. A Skywatch stream, I can bring in a guy to help bring in crafts. Okay, Susie knows a guy. Krista says schizoid stream. Yep, so just a regular Polarity show. Okay. Susie Mailer says, no, not into this idea. Well, I guess we'll put it in the bin then, folks. Sorry. I thought it was good, but Susie says no. Unlucky. Back to the drawing board. Random Bananas has gifted a membership. I love the name. Random Bananas. Thank you very much, Random. Very generous of you. And Larissa Kelstrom gifted 5 memberships too. Thank you very much, Larissa. Always popping in here with some generosity. And OCS Oxley says YouTube Premium is worth it. Congrats on the success. AHSHS. Is that my high school? Is that my high school? Are you someone from high school? Because if you're not, I have no idea what you mean by AHSHS. Josh, opinion on the Bledsoe Easter prophecy. Well, Easter's been and gone. I don't seem to have acquired any new knowledge, at least none than the regular knowledge that I'm acquiring each day. But, you know, I'm not going to judge them by the Easter date. I'm going to judge them on this Star of Regulus part. Okay, that's to me is like, okay, bro, if this star pops up and it's in the gaze of the Sphinx and all the other things, if you're like, if nothing happens then I'll just be like, okay, fuck this guy. Yes, Alex Hills, bro, much love. Oh, that's sick, man. Thank you very much. That's awesome to see. Is AHS Adelaide High? No, I didn't go to high school in Adelaide. Went to high school in Queensland. Load of bollocks, the Bledsoe Easter prophecy. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's such an interesting story, and I really do like to talk about it. But I don't have any real answers. I think I'm so interested in it because there's just so many things that pull me in different directions. And I think like the one thing that I feel the only conclusion that I feel the most comfortable with is that I don't think Chris Bledsoe is lying. I don't think he's going on camera and just saying something that he knows in the back of his mind is just complete bullshit. I don't think that's the case. So at like the worst case, I think he is like the main pawn in a massive psyop, and he doesn't realize that, or maybe he does, and he's, you know, just kind of like coerced into doing what he's doing. I don't know. You know, again, his life was at rock bottom, right? And you do hear that people who go through trauma become opened up to these interdimensional experiences and abilities. But also someone who's at rock bottom is like ripe for the picking to be like, hey, your life's pretty fucked right now. So we can fix it. We'll fix everything, actually. You'll never have to worry about any of this again. But this is what you're going to do. Maybe he took that. I don't know. But then when you see that he posts these, he's done it a couple of times now. He posts these orb videos where they just, and he says like they're unedited, they're raw. These are raw videos. But he's sending us a picture, he's showing it like totally cropped in. Like, dude, don't crop in. Show us the whole frame. Where's the point of reference? Where's like the trees at the bottom of the frame? Where's other stars that we can compare it to? It's just weird, man. It's just weird. I've got a couple of things to show you guys on Sunday for Weird Week when we look at that. But yeah, it's just odd, man. The Bledsoes are too tied in with spooks for me to trust them fully. Yeah, I think that's a healthy skepticism. I agree. I think he believes what he says. He may be being deceived. Yes, DTP, I agree. I feel like he believes it. And it was interesting what Dana said as well. Like Dana said that when she went there and saw orbs with them, that they, had a different experience to her, but she still experienced it, but she wasn't interpreting it like angels in the way that they were. Josh, can you moderate the chat so it makes sense, please, Josh? I don't know, bro. I think that the chat is making sense to me. The moderators are here. I think everything is under control from my perspective. I've seen somewhere he shows trees. Oh, God. Oh, God. Damn it. Old man films trees, says he's in contact with angels. I love coming up with like Batuta advocate style headlines for things at the moment. Batuta advocate, if you don't know, it's like niche Australian humor. I think I've posted them a couple of times on my Instagram where they just make funny headlines about situations in the world that are just like ridiculous. It's like a satire news outlet. It's really good. Highly recommend. I love Friday night after dark stream. I will cheers to that. I will cheers the Polarity Yeti bottle to that. Josh, the video you posted yesterday of the UFOs in Canada was wild. Yeah, we touched on that quickly at the start here. Yeah, it's a really interesting video. I have no idea what we're looking at, but it's like one of the videos that sticks out as just like, this is above average, like above average when we consider like the tier of videos that we're getting at the moment, because it's got so much. It's got like real visceral reactions, the camera movement, so the object, the way it's leaving the screen and coming back into frame, and then he kind of shifts around and you see the object interact with the trees and you kind of see this parallax happen. Like there's a lot in it to make the footage feel like quite convincing and authentic. But the actual object itself, it's like, man, it literally looks like a cloud. But it doesn't move like a cloud. It's moving quick. And then the orbs, right? The two orbs next to it. It's just crazy. David says, I would just prefer the chat to move slower with people staying on topic. David, I feel you, bro. I feel you. But ultimately, these are things we cannot control, my friend. And you will only stress yourself out by trying to gain control over the chat. The chat is its own organism and it cannot be controlled. It can be moderated, but it cannot be controlled. So attempting to do so is only your own undoing. You'll find much more peace and happiness in this stream if you just submit to the chaos of the live chat. The way you got to do it, my friend. Submit to the chaos. I learned this a long time ago. Resistance is futile. Exactly. Jump in the pool and feel the current. That's it. That's it. You got it, Dave. You'd be a great candidate to talk to Jason Georgiani. You'd try to stay on topic like you did with your other guests. With your other guests, your strength is clarifying. My strength is getting them to clarify. That's cool to hear. That's really nice to hear because I find when I watch podcasts, that's what I always find myself doing is like when they say things, the interviewer, perhaps because they don't want to be rude and interrupt, and I don't want to do that either. But sometimes I'm just like, no, you have to stop and clarify that. You have to explain that deeper because like sometimes people say things and it's like, whoa. Okay. That's a big statement. We can't just like glaze over that. I think for like your own credibility and my integrity, you need to explain that a little bit further, please. By the way, every time you say put it on a t-shirt, I make a note in notes. I have like 25. You have 25 of our put it on a t-shirt quotes in your notes. I would love to see them. If you're in our Discord, I would love to see what you have saved. You know, I do, on my long list of things to eventually get to, it is like I do want to put out some new merch. I want to do a couple of items soon, but I want to actually like overhaul the merch and make it look a bit more professional eventually. And I want to start actually, I want to lean into more like community ideas and designs. So like, yeah, phrases that we say a lot, themes and topics and quotes, you know what I mean? Like more lean in, like inside jokes that like are big here that other people would perhaps understand, but they won't know that it's like an inside joke. You know what I mean? I think that would be fun. Someone make a tier list of all the different Joshes. Josh, Jash, Vinny, Ben. There's got to be more. There's probably like pre and post discovering the world was ran by Satanist Josh as well. I think that was a bit of a canon event. Like, oh, we're actually ran by a bunch of people who traffic children. Oh, right. Well, back to work tomorrow. You know, it wasn't really like that for me. Josh on his way to a mental hospital. Yeah, that's why there's so many different versions. I had to fragment my personality into multiple. So when one just gets overwhelmed by the insanity of reality, that we can just sub out Ben and put in Jash. Relieve the pressure a little bit. You know what I mean? Pinky Parker, thank you very much for gifting 5 memberships. That's a whole 5 memberships there, people. Thank you very much. And Old Soul Joe, again, says, I'm so tired. Can't read chat. Just see colors. Old Soul Joe, don't make me say it again. Submit to the chaos, my friend. Do not try to control the chat. The chat is uncontrollable. Trust me, I've tried. I learned that. I learned that the chat was uncontrollable, actually, when we first watched the Alex Collier video. And it was probably one of the most interesting speeches there is. He's even in the intro to our show every single day. But all everyone wanted to talk about was the fact that he had the shiniest, baldest head and the most glorious mullet ever to exist. That was far more interesting to the chat. So I was left with a decision. Do I start going, everyone stop laughing, like a substitute teacher who just can't get control of the class? Everyone, listen, stop making jokes about Alex Collier's hair and listen to what he's saying. Do I try and do that? Or do I just be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. This guy's bald and it's funny. You just got to roll. You got to go with the ocean. Do not fight the current. You just got to go with it. And, you know, that cemented him into Polarity history. That cemented him into Polarity history, if he wasn't already by being in the intro. But, yeah, Alex Collier, what a guy. Get out the whip, Josh. I would love to have an almond whip. There are sometimes, I think from watching his stream so much, sometimes when I'm on stream, I'm like, oh, that's whip worthy. I want to get the whip out. That's one thing I regret from my interview with him. I think I did think about it beforehand, actually. I thought about asking him to get the whip out for the interview, like at some point. But the conversation with him just got so deep. And yeah, just, we were so deep in these like wild topics. I didn't want to then just suddenly be like, hey, Armin, can you crack the whip for me? I wish I did, though. But I still intend to have him back one day. I really do. I want to get him back on for a live show. Just got to figure out like when is the right time. DDTV, he's making the same mistake. He's trying to control the chat. Resistance is futile, my friend. Go with the ocean. Your life will be easier. Yo, I can't believe how your sub count plateaued after Pax Judaica. You were growing exponentially before that. Yeah. Yep. Look, I don't know if it's a coincidence. But it could be. It could be a coincidence. But I do think that time of year does do that. And I do know other creators who have more subscribers than me were facing faced a similar issue around the same time. And they've even said to me recently that like they can't figure out the algorithm anymore. Like they're doing the same kind of thing, but it's just not really working. And look, I'll give you my opinion in this. I really refuse to this is why I'm hesitant to believe that my channel was like shadow banned or whatever. Like, look, it might have been, but I think the real reason is because these topics aren't always the hot topic. Like, I think I got started doing this at a really good time, and that was just by kind of, I guess, chance a little bit. But I guess also given that the New Jersey drones were blowing up a bit, I felt more compelled to speak about it. But that's when I started, and I think that's why it was like people wanted to know about it. I think that ufology is sort of like at the moment in a bit of a lull. So I think the algorithm is just like not showing it to people as much. So, people want to know about Epstein, or they want to know who Palm Beach Pete is, right? Like that's current. And I feel like you sort of need to, if you want all your videos to keep landing and hitting, you kind of need to go with the current. Just like the live chat, resistance is futile. If you want to get the same result, you got to kind of follow the thing. And some people say that that's like selling out or whatever. Like, I don't know. I mean, I follow the thing a little bit, but only when I'm actually interested in it. Like, and that's why I never really posted about 3i Atlas, other than talking about the fact that I'm not into it, because I just genuinely wasn't into it. But there were people putting out videos like every single day at that time, getting shitloads of views because that's what people wanted to know about. But the thing is, I have ADHD, and if I'm not interested in it, I just couldn't think of anything worse than making a video about it. That just like makes me want to rip my eyeballs out. So you guys know that if I ever post something on this channel, it's because I actually think it's interesting or cool or whatever. Because otherwise I just literally can't do it. You got ADHD? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I don't, it's not that I don't like talking about it, but I hate saying like I have ADHD, because like I don't like the like I don't even know what it is. I don't think, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't, yeah, fuck. I don't really know what I want to say about this or where I want to go with it. I obviously I absolutely think it's real, but I don't think it's just like some weird little like attention deficit disorder thing that needs to be take these pills to fix it. I don't know what it is. But for me, at least the medication does help me focus. Like, it really does. When I don't, my mind is just constantly thinking in a non-linear fashion, and I can't stop it. And it's crippling. It's task paralysis, because I go to do something, and before I'm even there, if the task I want to do is like all the way over there, before I even get there, I've side quested to somewhere else, like, and it never ends. And it's fucking like really frustrating. It's really frustrating. It's really just difficult. And there are things you can do naturally to fix it, for sure. Like meditation definitely helps, but it doesn't fix it. Love a good side quest. Me too, but not when I'm trying to do things. Not when I'm trying to do things. Is the Chuck Swindle Jr. interview occurring still? Yes. It was meant to be yesterday, but I had the Chris Ramsey interview to edit still, which is done. And yeah, I just had to nudge it down the track a little bit. But I absolutely can't wait to speak to him, because I just feel like he's like one of the few people that you chat with him and you like really connect with. And I just really loved Chuck and his energy, the stuff he talks about, his vibe, his perspective, everything. Just a really cool dude. So I can't wait to have him back on. If you're on meds, you can't get the downloads, bro. No, I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that. Welcome to ADHD Life. Thank you. I've been here my entire existence. But yeah, only medicated for the last couple of years, and it's made like a crazy positive impact on my life. Like I can't. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because I know that there's people who just like don't even believe it, and I can't be bothered having that argument with them. Um, but yeah, I can say as someone who went through my whole life being aware of the fact that like my mind works like differently and quicker than most people, and I don't mean quicker as in like a like better, but just like I would just process things quicker. And sometimes that wasn't a good thing because then it would lead to me like coming off as like really rude or impatient. But it's just because like I get it, I understand. Hurry up, like you know what I mean. So it's not always a positive thing, but getting the medication and then just being able to focus on one thing at a time was incredibly positively beneficial for me. Positive impact. I just wish I got it before I finished university. That would have been great. Sorry, before I started uni, that would have been helpful. But we were a few deadline day deans. We were deadline day dean in high school. At uni. Start the assignment night before. Go absolutely ham in ADHD deadline dopamine mode, and usually scrape through with like at least a B. Yeah, my grades were like pretty decent. Well, in uni, my grades are actually quite good. Sorry, not a B. Distinction. The second from the top. Struggled through uni so bad. See, I was really lucky because I was really interested in the things that I was studying at uni. This is the only way that I got through uni. Seriously, I can't like people who go through uni fully doing like hard reading and academic and essays on things that they aren't interested in and they have to like drag their feet through it. No, I, I just can't. I just can't. And you know what's funny is I remember having this thought back in like I reckon primary school. And it's weird because I vaguely remember the student I was looking at when I had this thought. And you know, it was a girl. She was like I reckon she was like an immigrant. She was maybe from like India or Pakistan or something like that. And I just remember she would come in every day, barely never say a word, do her work as the teacher requested. Everything was handed in on time. Work was always done well. She would just come in, do it, and go home. And that was just the way she was. And I remember being young and looking at her and thinking, how do you do that? Like just like genuinely perplexed. Like how do you just come in? You're just like calm. You just do your work. You just leave. Like I'm rocking on my chair. I'm trying to make people laugh. I hate what we're learning. I'm so not interested in it until we maybe go do like PE or some kind of like artsy creative class. Other than that, I don't care about it. And then these people could, and I was like fascinated by it because and that was part of me, of like one of those moments of being like, my brain must just be so different to you because I just straight up can't do that. I've seen so many people's lives change for the better once they're on meds. Yeah. 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 It's one of those things where like people knock it because they're like, oh, you need medication. You need medication to do this or do that. Um, the reality is, it's like, well, you know, I could do it without it, but it's extremely hard and it's not to the same quality. And the strain of trying to do so actually has a further negative impact on my life and delays other things. Whereas this, it is just like a medication that just helps you kind of lock in and cruise through it. Gordy Miller, you little freak. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Rusty threw in $10 without a message, just for the love of the game. Thank you very much, Rusty. Appreciate all of your support, man. Toxic Fart says Kirk Hammett interview. Maybe one day. I would ask him when Metallica stopped if Metallica cease to be a band one day, which I'm sure one day they'll have to hang up the guitars and drumsticks, then I would ask him. I wouldn't ask him while he was still in the band because I would imagine that he wouldn't want to perhaps be as open about some of these things. And that's totally fair enough. Given that this has all of this stuff has, despite his interest in it, it has nothing to do with his like public image and what he's known for. So it would be a pretty like out of the box interview, which he probably wouldn't want to do. Rosen Posen Frozen says, about to clean dog shit. Happy to be here. Aliens for the win. Happy to have you here, my man. I hope you clean dog shit efficiently and quickly, and it all goes well for you. I still want to know who he is in the chat. You'll never know. Who is your next guest, Josh? Next guest. I actually, well, you're going to get the Chris Ramsey interview on Sunday American time, Monday Australian time. I have a bunch of guests sort of like that I'm talking to, but I haven't locked in any times for them. But yeah, so I can't tell you other than the Chris Ramsey one because I don't know which one's going to come next. I hated high school but loved uni. It's amazing how much easier it is when you're studying things you're actually interested in. Fantastic comment, Farmer Norm. Totally agree with you. High school, I couldn't do it. Just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to be a young boy. You know what I mean? And uni was like a complete breath of fresh air. As much as uni was hard because I had to work and go to uni, which is when you're studying full time and you're not under the care of mum and dad's money. You have to make your own. You live out of home and do all the normal things. It's difficult. And I'm sure anyone who's been to uni knows that struggle. It's really taxing. Even with that, there was a part of me that when I was finishing uni, I was like, I'm going to miss this place. I'm going to miss this place. Even though it's like not even really the people. It's just kind of like, it's just a cool environment. It's a cool environment. People learning and discovering and creating all in the industry that they're passionate about. I think that's a cool vibe. You're a good speaker, Josh. Your words flow like the salmon of Capistrano. You can thank ADHD for that. Also, you vibe with everyone. That's what makes you from other channels. That's what makes you different from other channels. Good stuff, mate. Thank you, Crack Sparrow. That's a really nice comment. I appreciate that. And yeah, I do think it is. I do think it's a superpower in a way, but it's like something that you can't switch off. That's what we need to figure out. We need to once we figure out how to switch it off. Now we're cooking. I do appreciate kind comments like that because I do feel like I have a tendency to read the bad comments. Not because I want to like self-harm, but because I enjoy clapping back at them, which I know is not a healthy thing to do. I'm very aware of that. But you know, again, going back to high school, that's what we did. Basically just teased each other. And that was really good fun. It still is fun, and that's why I like to do it. But I know it's not healthy, so I should balance it out more by reading more positive comments. I really should. I remember being allowed to smoke outside in high school. They didn't care how old you were. God damn. What a time, huh? I dropped into your Discord off and on for about a week. It was pumping. Yeah, the Discord is always pumping 24/7. In fact, do you guys remember about a bit over a week ago how I said people have been in a voice chat for 100 hours? That hasn't stopped. It's now at 293 hours. There's currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in there. And I'm sure they're probably watching this stream too. So, yeah, it's a party. It is a party. My wife has struggled with ADHD and the postpartum depression, and the meds really made a big difference for her. Oh, that's awesome to hear, man. I'm glad. Yeah, that's got to put a real spin on the body, huh? Ejecting another human out might unstable the chemicals a little bit. Put things into a bit of a spin. I could see that happening. I could see that happening when you eject another human being from your body. Things get a little bit wobbly for a while. I think this is normal. Teachers drank and partied with us too. Pinky Parker, are you from one of those schools that seem to pop up? They're always from America, by the way, where it's like, 20-year-old blonde English teacher arrested for having sex with student. Is this like one of the schools that you went to? And by the way, why are there so many of them? Why is that such a popular thing in America? High schools where they train people into conforming? Oh, 100%. It's goy programming. It programs you how to be a good goyim, not ask questions. Not only not ask questions, but ridicule people who do. That's part of goy programming. Ridiculing people who are brave enough and bold enough to be like, I think this system that we are stuck in may not actually have our best interest at heart. I think that is part of the programming. Do you think alien disclosure is possible for this year? Probably not. At least not how we want it. Not what we want it to be. I don't think so. I don't even know if we'll ever get it, to be honest. I don't know if we'll ever get it. I mean, guys, have you guys, I haven't really kept up on it as much as I would have liked to, just because there's too many things, bro. My brain's going too quick. But, General Neil McCaslin went missing, and he was like the fourth or fifth person in a string of people connected to cutting edge physics, UFO programs, that kind of cutting edge technology. He was like the fifth person to either get shot or go missing. And we're up to like 9 now or something. I saw something today where there's been like 8 or 9. So do I think there's plans for the truth to come out? No, I don't. Josh, dude, you're always on target and based. Love hanging out on your channel, bro. Thank you very much, Flatliner. There we go. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Incredibly based. What is based? Is based really just like, saying something that's on point, or is it just like that kind of objective truth below all of the layers of bullshit that we've been piled under? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it actually a subjective viewpoint that only some people hold? Or is being based like just an actual objective truth that we all kind of subconsciously know, but most people are just too snowed under in absolute garbage to be able to see it or say it? I don't know. I'm actually asking the question. Based in reality. Yeah. Yep. I think so. Base is just not caring what people think and saying it. No, I understand. I know what the term based means, but I'm saying, is it, like what you've just said there, saying what people think and not caring. And then people obviously respect that. That's like an endearing quality. It's like, well, why? Is it because we all kind of subconsciously know that those takes that might be a bit like controversial or whatever, they're controversial because that's the goy programming telling you that that's like bad or wrong. But like, if we just fuck that off for a moment and stop being idiots and just talk about like what's actually right and wrong and based in reality, we all actually collectively agree on the same things. Like that is based. So I actually think extending it to based in reality is maybe that is where it comes from. Is that what the word comes from? It's a compliment. No, I know. I know that. I absolutely know that. Right now, genders are the least of our worries. How dare you? How dare you say that? How dare you offend all 79 genders like that, Susie? Seriously, what kind of place do you think this is? We care about all 700 genders and sexual proclivities and um fuck, what's the word? God damn it, I lost it. Anyway, let's go to a super chat. Chimera, North Queensland Cowboys, baby. Yahoo! He didn't say Yahoo, I did. Hell yeah, let's go Cowboys. Susie Sunshine, also known as the anti-gaming terrorist. She says, may I please request a live AI chat where you ask direct questions about the phenomena? If possible, could you do it at the end of tonight's stream? P.S. Do I have good manners? Hi, I would like to make a request, and if possible, do it right fucking now. Thank you. Yeah, sure, Susie. No, I really like that idea, and I've toyed with that idea before, and I need to think about how I want to do this, because again, that's another idea that I actually have for a show. So you give me the question. Do you have a suggestion for a question, Susie? What kind of questions do you want me to ask? Because I actually think that's a really cool idea for a show. Basically like this, but we get to discuss the next prompt and the next question. And I really like the idea of like trying to gaslight AI into saying things it's not meant to say, or into believing something that isn't true. You know what I mean? Like trying to, I guess, break it in a way. Do you think entities exist outside of human perception, meaning they're around us, but we can't see? I mean, yeah, I guess I do. I do. And I'm not someone who's ever seen a ghost or anything like that. I just think it kind of makes sense in a way, especially given the fact that like our visible light spectrum is so narrow compared to the frequency that is out there, the band of frequency that is out there. Our portion of it is so tiny. And there are things that exist that are able to carry information that we can't see. All kinds of signals. So it would make sense that there is something, I guess, in that space potentially interacting with us. And I think why it makes sense to me is because, you know, there's so many cases of people talking about this kind of stuff, right? In one way or another. And like, and I'm talking about over time, how many people have had, you know, let's call it a ghost experience or voices, spirits, any of this kind of stuff. Aliens, whatever. Literally only one of those, like, okay, you can say he's a schizophrenic, that's a psyop, that's Chris Bledsoe, that's a grifter, he's that. Okay, but there's still thousands more. And only one of them needs to be right. Only one of them stories has to be true. So to me, it's like the probability of all of these people just being crazy is so low. It's so low. And the people that are telling me they're crazy are the people who also are like gaslighting me into like, you know, getting a fucking mortgage and then ramping up the interest rates. Like, these are the same people who have been indoctrinating you and lying to you for your entire life. They're the same people that are saying, hey, I'm having this weird experience with something that seems like non-earthly. They're the same people saying that they're crazy and that we should believe them, the people that have been basically lying to you and using you your entire life. So it's just kind of like, I just don't trust anything you say anymore, which is a dangerous slope. That's a dangerous slope because, and I'm definitely there. I'm rock bottom. I'm rock bottom. I couldn't even enjoy the Artemis mission. And I tried, but I would watch the Artemis footage and I'd be like, man, this shit's so fucking fake. I can't even be excited. And I used to love space. Now I don't even know if it's real. You know what I mean? They massacred my boy. I don't even know if space is real anymore because of them and their dishonesty. It's the boy who cried wolf. How many times do you catch them being dishonest until you just start going, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know when I can and can't believe you anymore. Tiger Lily, you little weirdo, welcome back. Thank you very much. Jotua, nice to see you, sir. That's our resident Alex Collier Chrome Dome with the mullet in the house. He says, hi, Josh. When are you going to do more gaming streams? So keen to watch you stream them. Maybe GeoGuessr soon. Oh, man, you know, I would love to do gaming streams. I really would. And there's nothing stopping me other than the fact of it feeling weird. Because trust me, there are days where I don't really feel like editing and I just want to play some video games. And then some days I do that, but I'm like, oh, I feel guilty. I'm just playing video games. I should do some work. But then I think, why don't you just stream the video games? But, you know, then it's like, where do I stream it? Do I stream it on YouTube? People will be like, why the fuck are you gaming on Polarity? Do I just stream it on Twitch? I don't have any followers on Twitch. There'll be no one there. You know, it's like a weird spot, but I do have this thing in my head that one day I will actually do it. I just don't know when. But it's something that's like there. In regards to GeoGuessr though, I want to do that. I've been thinking that recently that we should do some more GeoGuessr. You know what? Maybe we'll do a round of GeoGuessr. We'll do a round of GeoGuessr at the end of the stream. Before I show you the Chris Ramsey trailer. Josh Plays Games channel. Yeah, God, that would be making, you know, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just make another YouTube channel. I've already got 3. I've thought about actually just gaming on the Polarity 2.0 channel and kind of using that as kind of like it's got clips, Polarity clips, but also just like Polarity extras. I don't know. It would be fun. I know not everyone's into gaming. That's why I don't want to put it on this channel. But I love gaming, and I know a lot of you guys do too. So I would love to do it. I think we'd have a lot of fun. Joshman Gold. Dude, Asmongold's pivot from gaming to just being a content creator is just like phenomenal. He's crazy. He's living the dream. Even though he lives like a complete goblin, he is living the dream. Josh Plays with himself OF. I don't think we'll be making that, but it's a good suggestion. Being a gamer is a weirdo requirement, is it? No, absolutely not. We accept all gamers and not gamers, but it certainly helps. Certainly helps. He got banned for a week. Who? Asmon did. He got banned for a week. That doesn't surprise me. He usually has some pretty good takes. I would say Asmon is quite based, but he did come out with a couple of shit takes. But you know, I think with the amount that guy live streams, you know, it's incredible that he doesn't have more. Because when you're streaming, right, you're just talking off the cuff. You're not really thinking. Sometimes you fuck up, and it just happens, right? Sometimes you say things without really thinking about them, and you know, in that moment, it's like, well, you said it now. You've said it to however many people are watching. So it's bound to happen sometimes. So the fact that he, you know, has a bad take every now and then, I don't think that it's something to, you know, be like, I'm not going to listen to him anymore. You know what I mean? We all say retarded things sometimes. It's part of being human. Josh, do you follow Dark Journalist? I do follow him, but I don't really watch his stuff. And so look, there's a couple of UFO content creators in the space who I think do really interesting work, and I want to watch them. And I try multiple times, and I just can't. It just doesn't like it doesn't hold me. It doesn't hold me, and I want it to. But there's just something about some creators, and unfortunately, Dark Journalist is one of them, and it's nothing personal at all. Like I said, I think his work is great, but for like my attention span and what I kind of require and crave to be hooked in, it's just not there, unfortunately. And I know he does really cool stuff. For me, I would need to like, put it on while I'm on the treadmill and just like listen and zone out a little bit. I couldn't just sit there and watch it. Dark Journalist is like 5 years ahead of everyone. Yeah, I know. That's why that's why I'm interested in his work, because I know that he has good takes, and he doesn't just follow the crowd with like, disclosure, the people doing the circuits and stuff like that. Kelly says more GeoGuessr. Susie loves it. I think Susie actually does enjoy GeoGuessr, despite her deep-seated hate for gaming. I think who doesn't love GeoGuessr? GeoGuessr is not really a traditional game. I think GeoGuessr is fun because it's educational, and it's kind of like interactive for you guys as well, because you guys can yell at me when I'm like an old man who doesn't know how to use his phone, and you guys can all see the city and I can't, and then everyone's just roasting me in the chat. So we all have fun when we play GeoGuessr. Jason says, I'm a stand-up comic in Austin. That's cool. What's your first message? I didn't see what that's in relation to. I've been a fan for over a year and a half. I just got robbed and still trying to get back on my feet. Oh, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man. You got robbed in Austin? I'm going there. Am I going to get robbed? Hopefully not. That would be fantastic if I could not get robbed in Austin or anywhere in America, actually. If I could get in and out of America with all of my possessions, that would be amazing. Lance says, Master Weirdo Josh, finally caught you live. Been loving your videos. Pure butter to my ears. Keep going hard, spreading good energy, and touching grass, brother. Lance, my man, thank you very much, bro. That's a really nice comment. I still find it weird that people find my voice buttery. And I think it's just like your own voice. Everyone hates their own voice, but I just don't think it's that. But I love that you guys do. But it blows me away. Someone today or yesterday said it was velvety. Do I have a velvety voice? Probably not when I try to make it velvety like that. That's probably when it is like, no, don't do that. Don't ever do that again. John Anthony with 20 gifted memberships, 20 new freaks just got lassoed into this weird corner of the internet. Welcome aboard, guys. Thank you very much, John. Always with the big, generous gifteds as well. Absolute legend. Let's get some love in the chat for John Anthony. Microphone is calibrated nicely. Oh, Roger, don't get me started on this microphone. I don't know what its problem is. It's brand new. It was expensive, but it's got a problem, and I don't know what it is, and I don't like it, and I'm stuck with it for now. So just got to roll with it, unfortunately, but it's not forever. Man, I can't look, as much as I'm loving being able to be on the road and travel. It's really cool. It's not traveling in like the traditional sense of like, I'm not out every day wahooing, like a lot of the days I just chill in my room because I like doing that. I'm a pretty chill person. But I'm enjoying it, but I can't wait until I'm sort of back in my own permanent space, wherever that may be. And I can just set up properly. I have Suki with me, and I have my old microphone. That's what I can't wait. Josh, I'm yelling at you. It was me who said you're velvety. Well, thank you very much, Wheatsy Fox. That's very kind of you. I'm glad you enjoy my velvety voice. Travel vlog coming up. Yes. I'm hoping to have a travel vlog out this week. This week being next week, obviously. Yeah, me at Gunung Padang, which is actually probably the first video that's like semi-relevant to this channel. Squeaky Mike, yes. Make Squeaky Mike great again. I miss Squeaky Mike too. It added a whole element to the stream. Yes, and the vines. You guys know I actually packed the vines. I've got the vines with me. I just haven't really found any way to put them up. I could maybe hang it on that frame there. I don't know, but I have the vines with me. I just haven't. See what I'm saying? I took the show on the road. I wanted to make sure I maintain the vibe for you guys because it's important. But I just haven't used the vines. Not as easy to find somewhere to put them up, unfortunately. Bring back the vines. Don't worry, I will. When I'm back home and I have a good mic stand again, I will. One that doesn't squeak, ideally. There will be vines. No lisp on Josh. I don't lisp, do I? I feel like sometimes I actually do lisp, but not very often. It's more of like a when I, it's like an accident. It's not something I'm stuck with every time. But maybe if I'm not like pronouncing things properly, I will lisp. Oh, lisping. Dude, our prime minister has a lisp. That is the most like beta cuck prime minister attribute you could have. I'm sorry. But you don't want the leader of your country up there addressing you, lisping, sounding like he has the most severe allergy to peanuts and milk that is known to man. It just doesn't fill you with confidence about the man at the helm of your country. Yes, you lisp? Oh, God. Do I have a lisp? Because I just roasted the fuck out of someone with a lisp. I don't think I have a lisp. So, and you know what? You create your reality by your thoughts. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a lisp. You guys can create your own reality where I have a lisp. In mine, I don't. And that makes me happy. Just a little lispy. Got a little lisp. Remember, this is Angry Drunk German. Says, remember, no matter where you go, there you are. I love it. Thank you very much, Angry Drunk German. Drunken German. Sorry. God, it throws me off sometimes. Lisps are cute. There we go. Are lisps, to the ladies in the chat, are lisps in? Should I start laying my lisp on a little thicker? Will that attract more women in my life? I have to say it's not what I expected. It's not what I thought the ladies would be attracted to, but if it works, have a few drinks and maybe, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had a few beers. I think the last After Dark we did, I had a couple of beers, and I definitely think after a couple of beers I can get a little bit lispy, especially if I'm like talking constantly. It's almost like your mouth just gets a little bit tired and just doesn't lift when it needs to. You know what I mean? All the ladies love it. All right, I'll start practicing my lisp when I get to America then. If all the American girls like lisping, I will come extra lispy. Do you think aliens are spiritual or physical or maybe both? Probably both. Probably both. Oh, God. I think both, but then I think about the fact that like I really do like the line of thinking that at least some form of extraterrestrial life is like a synthetic robot. Like it's like an AI. I should say AI. It's like a synthetic. This is what's fucked up. Okay, that we all kind of like agree that like the Greys are these programmed life forms. That they are like sentient. They can perform tasks. They're literally like little mini humans, but they look like Greys. You know, in ufology, we collectively agree that like that's potentially what they could be. We hear a lot about programmed life forms. And then, but then on the other hand, we also hear a lot about cloning and that we can like make humans now. So cloning exists, And so does like injecting an artificial intelligence into a biological meat suit. Now, if you put those two things together, which like a lot of people kind of, you know, are open to both of those ideas separately, but if you put those things together, you get, I won't name any names, but like you get people who just can't think for themselves. You get NPCs, you get robots that look like humans. They talk like humans. They learn like humans. They like, I mean, are we that to some degree? Because we kind of learn like an AI learns in a way. Like the way that we sort of ingest data. And the more we sort of do it over time, it kind of builds our capacity to like understand and repeat and replicate and create based on that data. Like that's exactly what AI does. And then we're here building it. It's like we're like we're self-replicating. I do wonder that. If we're like just a self-replicating species. Richavelli says, if lisps are cute, I sound like Sylvester the cat. Much love to you and the channel, brother. It's a weirdo world and I'm proud to be here. Thank you very much, Rich. Love that, man. Really kind message. Yeah, we can all turn on the lisp if we need to. If that's what's going to make the ladies weak, we can start lisping up a storm. I'd have to practice though. Or apparently not, because I already have one. Data or data? Data always makes me smile when you say it, Josh. Data, data. We definitely say data in Australia. But I think I do catch myself saying data every now and then. And actually, you don't even say data or data. You say data. You guys really lean on that A. Data. You're real punchy with that first syllable. We're lazy. We're so Australian with it. Data. Da. We could just hang out there all day. Da. That's so Australian. Data. The Americans are far more punchy with it. Data. Data. Sorry, I'm not ripping on you guys. I actually love the way you guys talk. I mean, you guys sound funny to us, and we probably sound funny to you. I need to... I'm cooking up in here. Is it castle or castle? I would say castle. Castle? Josh, you doing that with your mic is with your awful mic is painful. I apologize. Melbourne, Melbourne, Melbourne. Do you know only people from Melbourne? How do I say this? People who are from Melbourne are the only people who say Melbourne in the way that they say it. And that's like none of those ways. They say Melbourne with an A. They say Melbourne. And I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. If you're from Melbourne, just say it out loud now and you'll realize that you actually say Melbourne, which is an A for those of you playing at home. It is, I would say Melbourne, which is probably Melbun. People from Melbourne would say Malbun, Malbun. And people from anywhere else in the world would say Melbourne. Oh, you're from Melbourne? Melbourne, actually, but yes, close. 420 Breezy says, Josh, look up a video of a Cajun accent. Can someone link me? Can someone link me in Discord? Can someone put it in media? And I'll pull it up. Kind of like Toronto versus Toronto. Yes, I've heard that people know you're not from Toronto if you say the second T, like toe, if you say Toronto, it's like a giveaway that like you're not from here. But people in Toronto, they call it Toronto with like a little rolling T. Gets out of there real quick. Do you think biblical literature plays a role in the future? That's a good question. Yes, I do. And I don't, but I don't know in what way. Like, I don't know if it's in the way of like the book of Revelation is just going to continue playing out, and that's like what's happening, or if it's in a sense of like the people who control the world are so like radicalized in a version of theology, whatever theirs might be and whatever they may believe, that given that they run the world, then yes, you know what I mean? Like we are kind of just like at the whim of whatever crazy shit that they are trying to create or build or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do think it's going to it's going to play some kind of part for sure, whether we like it or not. Even if we don't agree with it or believe in it, the people who are in control do. So, you know, unlucky, huh? Bad day to be a goy. Bad day to be a goy. Ra Clark with 6 months. Look at that beautiful pink and gold badge. And they've gifted a membership too. Thank you very much, Ra Clark. Legend. Legend of the chat. Melbourne was awesome, turning into a bit of a bin. Melbourne has just become a regular bin. And I think most big cities are, unfortunately, which is crazy. It's crazy that most cities are becoming bins when we keep bringing in lots of doctors and engineers. So it's just hard to understand how things are going in such a downward spiral, because you would think when you just bring over countless amounts of doctors and engineers that these people would go into society and enrich it and start bringing their skill set and their assets and their expertise into the community. But for some reason, we now have way more doctors and engineers than we've ever had. And we also now need to have machete bins for people to hand in their machetes. Kind of weird. Yeah, machete wielding doctors. Kind of crazy. Is that how the doctors work over there? You go to the doctor and they just wield a machete at you. Recycled Teenager says, for your travel fund, good sir. Thank you very much, Recycled Teenager. That will get me a long way at my 7-Eleven here. That's been my local store that I go to multiple times a day, actually. And I like it. Give us some old-timey baseball announcer accent. I need a line. I think the old-timey baseball accent works well when we're talking about like disclosure stuff, especially like like people in the disclosure circuit. It's a good one. Josh, I put the video in disc. Okay, let's have a look. Hopefully I can bring this up easily for you guys too. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, you guys might get all the... Yeah, whatever.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, bro?
Sorry, that's just from the video the other day. All right, let's see if we can pull this up. Pull this up, Jamie. Come on, Jamie. You can do this. The world is watching, Jamie. Well done, Jamie. You did it. Okay. Let me just... Yeah, I'll do. Wait. God damn it. Sorry, guys. Hold on. There we go. Oh, where's the chat? Sorry, hold up. Let me grab the chat. Can't do it without you guys. I love this show because I feel like it can be a bit of amateur hour sometimes, and it's okay. It doesn't matter. This is the show where anything goes. All right, you guys are here too. Let me make you a little bit smaller. All right, let's do this. Cajun accent.
Accents in Louisiana. Let's check them out.
What's your name?
Dale Bordlone.
And where you from?
Born and raised in Hesper, Louisiana. An old French potato community. They had a high school, believe it or not, at one time.
What you do for a living?
I make duck calls right now. I make Louisiana cane calls. Oh, I did all kind of stuff, but that's what I'm doing at the current time.
Yeah.
Bayou beef seasoning.
And now you said you made that little pirogue?
I made that, yeah, and pirogue, t'appelles ça.
Et tu parles français, hein?
Je connais un petit brin, well. The old French people made the most dugouts years ago, and I just built it just to keep that old tradition going.
But yeah.
And a hunt.
Is there some kind of French inspiration here? Is this something to do? Because, like, the town Lafayette, there's some kind of French connection there. And he just spoke a bit of French. So, like, what is this? There is, yeah.
Hunt with that old bateau.
What you doing down here today?
We're over here.
The French colonized the area. What a big surprise. Classic.
Cypress Cove, come see what's going on, man. I've been hearing all kind of stuff about catching the big gators down here. So we had to come see.
Yeah.
Me and Ramsey Russell.
Yeah.
Well, we got a treat today. We went out there with y'all, caught some big gators. Beautiful place, man. Sure enjoying it.
What's your favorite thing to cook or eat?
Seafood gumbo, hands down. I'll eat that 7 days a week.
Yeah. How old are you?
64.
And what you like to do on the weekends?
We're always in the woods, camping, hunting, shooting something, fishing.
Hey.
They got them on his word, I tell you what. That was a hustle and bustle. And I've got...
I want you guys to know that, like, this guy, like everyone in Australia, when they think of an American, this is basically what people think of. And I'm not kidding.
To see that, they caught some big ones and they was happy as all over.
Oh,
And that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Like, you know, you guys think we all ride kangaroos to work, which we do. And you guys think, you know, that we just drink Fosters and put shrimp on the barbie every single day and get into like bar fights or something. It's the same kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, you got to be happy. Don't be greedy. Don't envy. These people happy, that makes you happy. It was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Bien merci, bro.
Merci à toi.
Yeah, you're right.
It's so cool to see him like seamlessly go from like the most densest hillbilly voice in the world into this like pretty smooth French accent. That's crazy. Let me hear that one more time.
Got them on his word, I tell you what. That was a hustle and bustle. And I'm glad to see that. They caught some big ones and they was happy as all over.
Oh,
And that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, you got to be happy. Don't be greedy. Don't envy. These people happy, that makes you happy. It was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Bien merci, bro.
Merci à toi.
Yeah, you're right.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. That's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that. What a great accent. I can't wait to be surrounded by all of your beautiful voices. Missing the chewing tobacco? Yeah. That would add to it for sure. Or the missing the yarn. Is it yarn? Those things that the farmers chew on? No Aussie drinks Fosters though. According to the rest of the world, we do. It's so interesting. Literally anywhere you go to like an Aussie pub and it's like all this Foster's stuff. And like most Aussies are like, what the fuck is that? But for some reason, there's just like a massive psyop around the world that we all drink this random beer that nobody actually drinks. It's so weird. My understanding is that it just rains spiders in Australia. No? Yes. More in like the autumn sort of time of year does it do that. The rest of the time, they're just everywhere over the floor. It's more only rain in autumn. We don't call them shrimps either. Yeah, that's true. That is true. We call them prawns. Like fucking prawn. Like District 9, fucking prawns. I need to work on my South African, I think. I could do with a bit of work. Look up Appalachian Mountain accent. Send it through. Send it through. Spider tsunamis. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not a big spider fan, to be honest. I would rather. Actually, all right. This is an interesting poll. What would you guys rather deal with in your house? And when I say deal with, it means you have to. You've just found this thing on your bed head, and you have to get it out. You do, and you have to. You don't have to use your hands, but you have to use something. Okay, you can't hire someone. You have to get it out yourself. And it's either a snake or a spider. I'm curious to see what people are scared of most. There was a giant spider in my bed yesterday. Oh, that's gnarly. There was a cockroach on my bed in Vietnam. That sucked. A centipede? Man, centipedes are creepy. Insects like that, where they just have like 1,000 legs and they all work in like unison, like perfectly. It's just creepy, man. You got to try fried alligator, brother. I can't wait to try fried alligator. I can't. Mate, Aussies are used to spiders. Take that every day. Yeah, I think I probably would pick spider. I don't know if I've told you guys a story about when there was a snake in my house. It's not, I don't know if I've told you guys the story. It's not the best story. It's not as good as Baal's brownie story. That's probably one of the best. But I can tell, if you guys haven't heard it, I can tell you. Spiders are extra creepy. I kind of like snakes, actually. Yeah, I think snakes, I wouldn't say always, but snakes definitely can have like an element of like sort of beauty or like elegance to them. Like there's kind of something beautiful about them in a weird way. But spiders are just like, no, you're just straight up ugly and disgusting. Spill it? Okay. Let's round out this poll quickly, then I'll tell you guys the story. 56% of you guys would rather deal with a spider. Pretty even, though, to be fair. 55%. That's pretty even. 45% of you guys would rather deal with a snake. That's crazy. So this is when I was living in Queensland. I would have been about 19 or 20. And I was living at a friend of mine's house, a guy I used to play in a band with. And I was this is his family's home, right? I'm downstairs. I'm on the computer playing video games because I'm a fucking nerd. Okay? And I'd been doing this for a while. I'd been living there for quite a while. And I was pretty familiar with the house. And his parents were a little bit older. So there were some weird things around, just like weird old people, trinkets and whatever. And so I'm on the computer and there's a bookshelf like right here, like right within, I could grab the book off the shelf in an arm's distance. And for some reason, I don't know what it was, but like I just sat there and, I don't know what made me notice this, to be honest. I either looked up or like I got up and went to leave and like turned around, and I noticed that on the top of the bookshelf was a perfectly coiled up snake with its head just like that, just sitting there like this, head facing me. So when I looked at it, I kind of froze for a second and I was like, is that a fucking ornament? Like, is that like some kind of weird statue that I just like haven't clocked? Because like, you know what I mean? I've been sitting here for hours and this has been there the whole time. It's just coiled up there, sat perfectly if it were a statue. Like the head is at the front, in the middle. Like it looks like an ornament. And I've been there for so long. And so I went upstairs and his mum was there and I was like, do you have any snake ornaments? She kind of looked at me and she's like, no. And I was like, well, there's a giant fucking snake on your bookshelf. You might want to do something about that. And I'm not going back downstairs. So they had to get like a reptile catcher to come in. And I remember I told my friend who I was living there with, and we were both kind of like, fuck that, I'm not going downstairs anymore. We went upstairs or we went out or something, and we came back and we were like, oh, we should just check if the snake is still there because the reptile people are coming soon. Like, we want to know where the snake is. And it wasn't there. So now we're in his house and we're like, oh, fuck. There's a snake. And this thing was like pretty big. I would say this was like maybe almost 2 meters. Yeah, I would say it's almost like 1.5 meters. So we're like, oh shit, where's the snake? Where's the snake? We're sort of like looking around, like, it's almost like the memes of like people trying to dodge the lasers, it's like you're just sort of being so careful and scared. And then we found it, and it was perfect. This is how I know how big it was. It was perfectly stretched out across the windowsill. Like it was almost sunbaking, and it just kind of blended into the bottom of the window. And then my friend, being, I don't even know what he was trying to do, just be a hero, decided to like try and grab the back of it. And he, like touched its tail. And like the second his hand came in contact with the snake, it just like hissed. And we were both just like, ah, we just ran upstairs. And then the reptile person came and got it out. But yeah, that was pretty terrifying at the time. And just like that moment of where like it felt like time just stood still for like 2 or 3 seconds, where I looked at it and my brain was going like, I've never seen a snake ornament there before. I've been sitting here for a couple of hours. This snake looks perfectly coiled up like an ornament, but I've never seen one here before. Have I just been sitting next to a snake for 4 hours? I think I have. Like all of that just happened in like 2 seconds. And yeah, quite shocking. What sort of snake was it? I think it was just, like a carpet python type thing. Nothing like that would kill you, but would definitely strangle a cat. Have you ever covered Lilith? I've had a very vivid dream about her specifically, if you're interested. No, I don't really know what you mean by Lilith either. Like, I think I kind of do, but I'm not really sure what you mean in that context. I hope they didn't hurt the snake. I doubt it. They're all generally pretty, God, what's the word? What's the word, people? They don't hurt the snakes because they are ethical. That's what it is. That's what they are. I hate when that happens with huntsmans, when you realize you've been right next to one for hours. Oh, yes. Yes. Yep. Oh, so many flashbacks. So many flashbacks. Especially if you're like in a bathroom or like a shower or something, and then you spot one like up in the corner of the shower. It's just like, ugh, get me out of here. Lilith, aka the mother of demons, the first wife to Adam. No, I'm not familiar with Lilith, the mother of demons, the first wife to Adam. My friend's 8-foot boa ate the neighbor's puppy when it got out. Oh my God. Wow. That's horrifying, dude. That's horrifying. I guess I immediately think like if that happened to me, like if Suki got eaten by the neighbor's snake, oh my God, I'd be fucking raging. It'd be a bad day to be a snake. It'd be a bad day to be a snake, I tell you that much. Have you ever watched Supernatural, Josh? Oh, Jen, come on. You know the answer to this. You know I haven't seen whatever TV show or movie you're wondering if I've seen. You know I haven't. I would end up in jail if someone's snake ate my dog. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if can you get arrested for killing someone's snake? that would feel a bit unfair if you couldn't if you could get arrested for killing someone else's snake that killed your dog. That would be unfair. You know what the best thing to do? Oh, I know you'd have to get in their home. Sorry, I don't want to start conspiring on how to kill the neighbor's snake on my live stream. That's probably not the best idea. But probably kill a rat with rat poison. Really load up a rat with rat poison and then feed the snake. That's, you know, hypothetically, if we were going to do this, that's probably the route I would go down, but I would not do that because that is highly unethical. And we are ethical snake catchers here. These are the questions that keep me up at night. Hey, that's mean. See, exactly. Exactly. But now we have an ethical question around the rat. Okay, what did the rat do to play a part in this? You know what I mean? We would have to find an ethically sourced rat, which would be a rat that has committed a crime that needed to be poisoned as punishment. So, you know, this is a very long and elaborate plan. If we're to do it ethically, of course. What kind of music did your band play, Josh? My band played... It kind of shifted while I was in it, which retrospectively was I don't think was a good decision. It wasn't really my decision. I was like the young one in the band, so I didn't really have any say. I was kind of I just did what I was told in a way. But we started off playing really cool music. I mean, it was all cool. It just changed. But we started off, I would say, kind of like the style of like a combination of Story of the Year with Seosin. So it's kind of like this sort of like heavier pop punk with like a little bit of screamo in there as well. There's somewhere in that realm. Yes, I was on the bongos and triangle. And then we kind of shifted and it became like a cross between Oasis and Angels and Airwaves. And while that was really cool musically and like experimentally, it was really cool and interesting. It definitely didn't resonate as much with our fan base, which was very much like, you know, 16 to 19, no, 16 to like early 20-year-olds who were into like emo and pop punk music, which is why like Story of the Year Seosin was like, you know, they loved it. But then when you start playing this like weird Oasis, Angels and Airwaves hybrid, you know, young kids are kind of like, where's the screaming though? You know what I mean? So that it didn't go down well, but it was a great experience. It was really fun. And I got to play some pretty big shows, to be honest. Well, you know, that's relative, but I played at a festival and I played at a place called the Princess Theatre, which I don't know if it's still around doing gigs in Queensland, but we played at the Princess Theatre one night and yeah, it was a full house. Not we were the support band, but it's still a full house and just yeah, pretty wild experience to be honest. And the cowbell, yes, cowbell, triangle, and bongos. That's the extent of my musical talent. Big Day Out? No, I wish not a festival that big. God, bring back Big Day Out. That's when the fall of Big Day Out directly coincides with the fall of Australia. Can you guys tell me in the chat if you feel that? The removal of Big Day Out was either the catalyst or coincided with the fall of Australia. And I think those things could be connected. I really do. Dude, is Big Day Out still on? No, bro. It got cancelled. It got cancelled around the same time where you would get cancelled if you didn't say that there was 9,000 genders. It was around that time where everything really went downhill. You remember? Soundwave was a lesser version. Soundwave was cool. And as someone who likes that kind of music, it was fantastic. But I think what was special about Big Day Out is that it was such a broad range of music. So you had people and families from like all walks of life there. And, you know, whereas like Soundwave, kind of no matter where you go in the festival, you got the same crowd, you got pretty similar music. It's like the same kind of vibe. And, you know, I like that music, so it's all great. But I think what's special about Big Day Out, and I went to a festival in Belgium called Dua Festival, and I would say that was one of my best festival experiences ever, because that was like Big Day Out, where like I saw Comeback Kid there, which is like a hardcore band, like, you know, hardcore punk. But I also saw Wu-Tang Clan there, and I also saw Sub Focus, which is like drum and bass. So, and you know, those are like three of some of my favorite genres, three massive acts from completely different walks of music. And I think that's what makes those festivals so special. It's like if you're maybe not vibing something one day, you can go to a different stage and have a bit of a different vibe that day. I don't know. There's just something about that that I think is special. You know, Dua Festival? Yeah, Dua Festival was amazing. It was an unexpected festival experience that ended up being the best one. It was like a 5-day festival. And we camped in these little like glamping, like little oh god, I wonder if I could pull up pictures. This would be really well, I wonder what I could find. I don't know if I'd want you guys to see it though. You guys would see such a young version of me. Let me see what I can find quickly. I don't want to dox myself. It would be funny though. Oh, I just saw one of my old friend's dogs died today. That's terribly sad. I don't look forward to that day. We get a pet knowing that we will outlive them, knowing that we will become so emotionally attached to them and that they will then leave. That's what you signed up for. Why do we do that? Where are these photos? Is my stream just cooking out right now? You are so young now. Oh, well, thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that. I can't seem to find photos from Dua Festival actually. I'm looking at, sorry, I'm just looking at I'm looking at photos of myself at DEF CON. I'm not going to show you those though. Random bit of lore. I am in the DEF CON I'm in the DEF CON 2013 after movie from the Netherlands. Random little bit of lore. Yeah, I can't find the set of photos I was looking for, unfortunately. Maybe another time. Maybe we'll do that in a member stream. I can show you some funny old photos of me. The stream is cooking. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I'm not on my internet the speed here is fantastic. The speed here is really good. So it must be just the fact that I'm on Wi-Fi. Actually, the modem is over there. I could maybe connect to it next stream. Oh, was there something? What did I say? Did I say I would do something? I was going to show you guys the Chris Ramsey thing, but I said I would do something else first, didn't I? Can anyone remember? Man, my stream is cooking out for me. Hopefully you guys can still see. 420 Breezy. I'm trying to read your message, bro, but I am fighting Baal and his legion of demons right now. He says, Josh, I put the video in disc. Yep, we saw that one. Bleak says, no spider hate, please. Thank you, Bleak. Susie Q says, shout out to all the Susies here. I go by Susie Q, and I'm a weirdo. Love y'all. Susie Q. All right, I got to remember to add that Q on because we do have a bunch of Susies here, and we do need to figure out a way to differentiate them. Oh, it was GeoGuessr. Yeah, look, it's probably too late for that, unfortunately. This is a 2-hour show. An interactive AI interactive chat. I do like to try and keep this to 2 hours. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from going longer, but maybe next time. We'll do it next time. So these are the things I want to think about. I want to start doing a show where we do a live call-in. I've got to hash it out, but we'll be using Discord. So if you think that you want to come on the show one day, make sure you get Discord on your phone, join our Discord server. The link is below. It's free. You don't have to pay. And I think we'll use the voice chat to do it. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I just have to figure a couple of things out. We're going to do some GeoGuessr on stream soon. And I actually would like to do some gaming streams. Perhaps on Twitch and maybe dual stream it to Polarity 2.0 or something like that. You can fill it in with a WoW addendum, with an addendum WoW stream. You talking about like a GeoGuessr stream? Yeah, we'll figure something for the gaming stuff out soon. I'm excited to do it though, because you guys know I like gaming. I know there's a lot of you guys that play too. We have made a guild on World of Warcraft Classic, so I think it would be fun if a few of you guys want to get in Discord one day and I can stream and we can just level together. I think that could be some good laughs there, but we'll figure it out as it all happens. We're going to wrap it up here for today, but as I said, for those of you who have stayed the course, all 451 of you, thank you very much. This is my favorite show because I basically have license to just ramble. Corrupt NPC, thank you for gifting a membership. Here is the trailer for my interview with Chris Ramsey, which will be coming out Sunday evening, American time, or Monday midday afternoon, Australia time. Guys, thank you for watching, for hanging out in After Dark. I really love this show, just being able to chat shit and be interactive with you guys, and I appreciate all of your support. I really do. The fact that you all just come here for literally no point or story or reason, it really does mean a lot to me. So let's get some love in the chat, and I really hope you guys enjoy this trailer and that you're looking forward to seeing the rest of the show. Good night and peace.
These people, and they're looking at each other, and in walks this dude who's like dressed in black. I'm also human like you. I come from this other planet. Don't worry about it. We're going to show you something. He shows them 3 projections. I think that's the very basis of reality, is this creating it. The mind is capable of that. That might be the biggest secret.
You know, you go to the world where the shaman, the guy that was interacting with this non-physical world, he was the guy.
You know, for thousands of years, really, in different cultures, they would have these rituals that were meant to, whether it's summon a thought form or to obtain information or to remote view or to get whatever it is. They're all based in ritual, and the rituals serve an important ingredient. They create within your mind the reality that this is possible. That is a vital part of this co-creating, where I get out and I go into the back. Like, I remember this, right? I remember this happening, so I'm just waiting. I'm sitting there literally like, go in the back. This is when you go in the back and you hit me, where I go, oh, I have to tell myself to go in the back. Projecting this loving feeling of when I was young, just bouncing around in the back seat, being lulled to sleep by this nighttime drive feel. And then the door opens and I sort of leave this vision. What's interesting is that night, my friend did pass out and we hit a guardrail in her side seat. Would have cut me in half. I don't think people really could wrap their minds around that. Like, they have a hard time wrapping their minds around, oh, this might be real. This non-human intelligence is real. Then to tell them, oh, but the non-physical, that's also real.